What is going on YouTube? Smashing Pumpkin here, coming at you guys with another Fun Deck Friday. Before I get started with the awesome deck profile, I'd like to remind you guys that if you want to keep this series going, to give me suggestions in the comment section down below of things that you want to see me make a deck out of. It can be a card, it can be an archetype, can be like a combo, or just like some sort of bizarre theme. On the topic of bizarre themes, that's kind of what this deck is. I like water monsters, so I decided to make a deck that is just all water monsters. Well, 38 water monsters. There are two Gen X controllers, because they have to be there for Undyne. Like, they're like the honorary water monsters of the deck, because they're just like super bro with Gen X Undyne. Like, you can't really separate the two. Let's get started with 3 Swap Frog, 3 Poison Draw Frog, 3 Dupe Frog, 3 Rodent Totem, and 1 Treeborn. This is your frog engine of the deck. Allows you to get things into the graveyard. It's your primary way to make rank 2s, and Swap Frog is the most important part of the deck because it special summons, dumps things into the graveyard, enables Rodent Totem to special summon itself. Also, Treeborn Frog is important because we do have a little bit of tribute fodder in the deck. The next important part of your deck is the Nimble engine of the deck, which is 2 Angler, 3 Manta, and 3 Sunfish. Regard Manta as a normal monster because its effect will never ever come up, ever. Nimble Angler is when it's sent from your deck or your hand to the graveyard, you can special summon 2 Nimble monsters from your deck, this case being the 2 fish, Manta and Sunfish. This card is definitely really cool. It allows you to spam out pretty fast. You're normally going to resolve the same angler twice. You're not really going to want to see multiple anglers, so that's why there are 2 of them in here. You also have a lot of ways to fish them from the deck with your Tidal or your Gen X Undyne, and you can pitch them from your hand with Swap Frog and your Mermail engine. Basically, it's just Rescue Rabbit with upside, so that's not bad. 1 Mobius the Frost Monarch and then 2 Sea Lancer. Mobius is to just get rid of back row. This deck has no way to really deal with floodgates, and also it can like kind of stall out against like heavy back row decks, so that's why he's in here. And then 2 Sea Lancer. These are to recycle your frogs that you banish with Rodent Totem so you can make more rank 2s. And then we play the 1 Tidal. This also helps banish things for Sea Lancer, and Sea Lancer gets things back to banish for Tidal, so that's a nice little interesting relationship the two have. Tidal also lets you dump off things from your deck into the graveyard with its last effect, I believe, so that's definitely really cool. Also is discard fodder, so whether Angler is in your hand or in your deck, you can get it out with Tidal. 2 Fishboard Planter, and it's also the reason why we're playing all water monsters in the deck. Well, mostly all water monsters and no spells and traps, because basically if this card is in your graveyard, you can send the top card from your deck to the graveyard, and if it was a water card, then you can special summon it. Special summon Planter, not the card that you send to the graveyard. That would be much better, but in any case. Planter can only be used once per turn, so it's not like you want all 3 into your graveyard if you had 3. So 1's generally enough. So that's definitely really cool. Fuck! Sorry about that, guys. Minor technical difficulties. Next part of the deck is the really small Mermail engine with 2 Abyss Spike, 1 Abyss Tias, and then 1 Abyss Lind. You don't play a whole lot of level 3 water monsters, but the one that you want to get is Gen X Undyne, and that's really important to the deck, so that's why we play the Mermail monsters. The reason that I'm playing Abyss Tias over, let's say, a 3rd Spike is that you don't really want more than 1 Spike in your hand at a time, because that will just clog up all your normal summons. So Abyss Tias will allow you to at least special summon while getting cards out of your hand and cards out of your deck. So that's pretty cool. Then we play 3 Undyne, which sends everything that you want in your deck to the graveyard, and then gets you a Gen X controller, which you can do some synchroing stuff with. You don't really want to see multiple marksmen or multiple heavy infantry at a time, but you do need them in your deck for situations where you have to out something, or else it will get too scary. So that's why they're in the deck. You can send them to the graveyard with Tidal or with Undyne, and essentially the second copy of all of them are Dragoons, so that's cool. And it also helps you search out your boss monster, which is Moon Glacia, which is essentially Delinquent Duo, which is not bad. Opening up Moon Glacia and Swap Frog and no Gen X controller will result in you being able to drop Moulin Glacier turn 1, which is really devastating. So that is the main deck. Going on into the extra deck, which is somewhat important, we play the 2 downards to overlay over your rank 2s after they've all been used. 3 Gotchi. This card's actually pretty important. It'll give you minor attack boosts and will allow you to essentially stall up the board while you're trying to make more things happen. 2 Daigusto Phoenix. This card is very important because this is how you win most of your games, is with this card, just attacking indirectly for 3,000, and then you do it a couple of times and then that's game. Play 2 Cat Shark. This is an OCG card. If I was playing this in the TCG, this would probably become maybe a 3rd Downer Magician and a 3rd Daigusto Phoenix, or maybe a couple of off-color synchros. But this card is definitely really important. If it has XYZ material on it, it can't be destroyed by battle. And then during either player's turn, you can detach a material, and then 1 XYZ monster you control attack and defense become double its original attack and defense. You can create OTKs with this, and Daigusto Phoenix which is pretty cool. Then we also play 2 Herald of the Pure Light, because we do a lot of random sending to graveyard effects with Planter, and a lot of controlled sending effects to the graveyard with Genic Sundyne. You can get cards that you want into the graveyard very quickly, so Pure Light will allow you to put them in your hand, and you have a lot of cards that you aren't really excited about being in your hand, such as the Manta, the Sunfish, or the Genic's Controller, so you can just put those right back in the deck and start all over. And then 1 2,000 attack point guy. This card's pretty good. Sometimes I wish I played one more of it, but all the other XYZs in the deck are much more important than this card. In Synchros, we play Leo and Black Rose, and then Armades. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of silly deck. Go try it out for yourselves. It's a whole lot of fun to play. If you want to see me play through with this deck a little bit to give you guys a little bit more incentive to play it, just let me know by giving this video a like. And I think I'm out for now. Smashing Pumpkin, signing out. Peace.